Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the No ID podcast. This is, of course, season 4. I have another female comedian, Black comedian. She's been doing it for over 30 years. She's blessed me with this interview. I have the one and only Miss Arkansas. How you doing today?
Man, I am blessed. Like I tell everyone, the groundhog could have been bringing me my mail, but instead the mailman brought it to me today, so I'm still here.
You know, you told me that today, and I just picked up on it. It was like you in the dirt, so I picked up on it. When you told me, I was like, "Oh man, what is she talking about?" It caught me by surprise. So I get it now. So I'm actually have to bat that one off of you.
All right.
So you female, you've been in comedy for like what, 30 years?
A little over 30 now.
Okay. What made you get into it? What was your start? What was your reason?
Well, my father inspired me. My dad, like on Fridays when he get paid, he stopped at the liquor store, get him a little half a pint of Heaven and Hill, and then he'll cash his check, bring all the rest of the money home to mama. She take care of everything. And when he get to drinking it, he go to telling jokes, and it's like everybody in the neighborhood coming out of yard listening to him and laughing and stuff. So he could have been like with Red Fox and Richard Pryor and them, but he had to work a real job because him and mama had a whole lot of us.
Oh, yeah. So will you remember your first open mic? Like, do you remember the first time you actually performed? How was that?
Well, actually, I did like talent shows and just cutting up in front of people and all of that. All that stuff was first. But my first stage I ever performed on was at the, oh God, help me, Lord. It was with Cookie Hall at Cheers, at a place called Cheers in Moreno Valley, California. That's when I did my first 5 minutes professionally, I would say. And yes, and the crowd went crazy. And Bruce was actually her headliner. And it was funny because a lot of times the headliner will come in until the show almost over. And I was sitting there, and like I said, that's been many years ago, so they think I'm cute now. I was really a stallion back then. But I was sitting there with them little shorts on, long, fake ponytail. Bruce, he looked at me like I was a little hooker or something. He was like, wow, little mama, before I start my show, how much? I looked at him. I looked back at the audience. I looked at him again. I said, man, just pay what you weigh. He said, I didn't bring that much money with me. Then he later found out I was a comedian. He told me to keep it up.
That's what's up.
Yes. So that was that.
I was peeping your pictures back there, right?
Right. The one on this side, where it at? Oh, Lord, help me. Let's see. Maybe I move. The one on that side, actually, that's Michael Kaya, one of my only mentor. And then the picture itself was somebody drew me in New York City. Then the one in the middle was actually my birthday. A young lady on the Michael Kaya morning show, Miss Rosa May, she drew that one and sent it in the mail to me. That's the what I had on my birthday on his show. And then let's see, the other one, I'm gonna get it right in a minute. The other one, it was someone drew that one of me in Memphis, Tennessee. I was just walking down the street, and we was on Beale Street, and he was drawing other people, and people look and keep going. And he said, excuse me, beautiful. He said, I'd love to draw your picture. And I was just sitting there. And when I tell you, looked like thousands of people were just standing there staring. I was like, what this man doing to me? And it turned out looking just like me. That's why they were so amazed, because it looked like he just scribbled other people or whatever. But yes, so I figure I put them on there.
How many times you did the Michael Kaya morning show?
Oh my God, at least about 6 or 7 times. Yep, he'll be bringing me back again soon. Watch. I was his winner on his I love my job, I love my job, I love my job contest. First time they pulled my name, and he had called, and I was like, good morning, one of my favorite people in the world. So I ended up losing, because you're supposed to answer your phone and say, I love my job, I love my job, I love my job. So his wife Kelly, she called. First of all, this man, they pulled his name, and I wasn't praying no bad against it, but I was like, ooh, don't answer. And then he answered and did what I did. He said, hello. And so he lost. Then she had to pull another name out, and I was like, ooh, God, please let it be my name. And it was actually my name. And the only reason I knew to say it when she called, because she actually texted me a couple of days before and said hello or whatever. And I was like, who is this? And when she told me who she were, I locked her in. So if that hadn't happened, I probably wouldn't have answered the phone, or I would have said just hello. But having her name in there, and when she called, I was like, I love my job, I love my job, I love my job. And I told him I didn't care if it was a bill collector this time. I was going to say I love my job. So I won a nice package. That picture was actually in it. 2 of his books, some of his CDs, all kinds of nice things. So
he's
a
genius. Like, I did his morning radio show. For those that's listening, episode 155, about 16 minutes in. I timed it in perfect. And the way that he was moving, and just from watching him on TV to actually having the whole conversation with him, I just see why he's at the top of his game the way that he is. Kind of got me in shape as far as the comedy goes. So I owe him a lot, and I mean a lot. So
before you go any further, I want to share a quick little story about him. I met him, like I say, many years ago. And then he didn't remember, but he ended up having a comedy night at the Maverick Flat out in Los Angeles, California. And he'll let you go up, do a few minutes, he'll critique you. He'll either bring you back for a guest spot or a paid spot. So this young lady went up, she did a few jokes. When I tell you, no one laughed, not even the people that came with her. So Michael got back up there. She left. She should have stayed and watched the other comedians. That's what I would have done. But she left, and Michael said it was so quiet in there, you could hear a mosquito pee on a cotton ball. And then he said, this young lady I'm getting ready to bring up, she say I've seen her before. I don't know if I have or not. He said, but we're going to bring her up and see what she has. He said, y'all help me welcome Miss Arkansas. So I came up. When I tell you I killed them little 3 minutes, and then he came running up there. He said, y'all know what? I'm not bringing her back on no guest spot. She coming back on the paid spot. I was like, that's what's up. And like I say, we've been friends, I know, ever since then.
Yeah, man. He's a good guy. I can't.
Yes, he helped everyone he can. You know, some people, the Bible even tell you everybody ain't gonna like you. So, you know, so it don't matter who don't like him. It's important of who all love him.
Yeah, I love him. Good guy. So, going back to something, how did you come up with the name Miss Arkansas?
Well, I was born and raised in Arkansas. I was born in Osceola, Arkansas, and I was raised in Blytheville, Arkansas. That's next to Memphis, Tennessee.
I can hear you. Not trying to be funny, and I can hear your twang a little bit.
Oh, it ain't going nowhere, man. I've been talking like this since I've been talking. And then I tell them all the time, ain't nothing going to change but the state and my bank account.
Hello.
Yes.
So have you just done stand-up, or is it more like I've done like ventured into writing or acting or anything before? Or is that
I did a little acting. I would love to do more, but my main thing is comedy. And I've been told I can sing, so I guess I'll do like Jamie Foxx, let my comedy open the door and then give me a CD.
Just a CD.
Or album or mixtape or get something.
I got you. So comedy, you plan on using that as a gateway? Because, comedy does open up a door for, God, it's a gateway to a lot of stuff, man. Like, honestly. So I do wish you nothing but the best. You do decide to, release an album. I don't know what you're going to call it.
I don't know either. I don't have to think on it.
You know what I mean? Like I'll download it to support. You know what I mean? You got my support 100%. Because this was a last. Like you understand. So I really do support. So have you ever seen any changes in you say you did it 30 years? You're a vet into this game. 30 years into the game. Have you seen any changes from the stand-up from 30 years ago compared to today? Like anything significant?
Well, not really. Even with the pandemic going on, a lot of them talk about how they was having hard times going through it. Me personally, I didn't have no hard time. So I thank God for that. Because a lot of them was like, man, I don't want to do no Zoom shows and no, and this and that. And me personally, I feel if you could be funny in line, you could be funny online. So I didn't turn down nothing but my collars. So if they wanted to book me online, I was there and still there, So then nothing really changed. And even if I wasn't doing those shows during that time or this time, because it ain't over for real, during this time, not one day have I been hungry, and I got 20 extra pounds to prove that. God been a provider, and he always have provided. So it's nothing really changed as far as myself personally and my craft, but a lot of them was really going through.
That's facts. Yeah, Zoom comedy is a little different, but I've adjusted. I love it. It's actually a lot of money into Zoom comedy from what I've been told and what I've actually seen. A lot of people are doing it. I think this is going to be the wave of the future, and you just got to transition it. So, yeah, you're definitely right.
Man, let me tell you, I get to really telling jokes when I hear that notification button going off and them people sending their money to their cash app. I tell jokes I ain't told in years. Yeah, so if you know somebody looking for a female comedian, they tell them I do a Zoom and StreamYard and whatever else they doing it on,
Well, then make sure you guys reach out to her as Instagram, Miss Arkansas Comedy. By all means, you need to go ahead and book her. She's very hilarious. I've been checking out her Instagram and I've checked a couple of clips of her YouTube and stuff. So make sure you guys just book her. You have any advice for any of those comedians that's been doing it or this starting off, breaking off into the industry, trying to break into the industry?
I would just say to them, a lot of them have tried to have me to lay down with dogs and get over fleas just to say I've made it. And I have to shout my mother out, may she continue to rest in peace. If I didn't hear nothing else she said, I always remember, and it's in my heart when she always said to us that God's timing ain't your timing. So I don't care how long you've been doing it. Just remember God's timing ain't your timing. 30 years to me is like 30 minutes to God, So for all those years, a lot of times, all I heard was no. And now, even in this time that we're going through all this, I've been getting yes, 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 yes. And it's just blowing my mind. So I would tell them to wait on him. If you don't know him, get to know him. Don't sell your soul to say you have made it, because at the end of the day, you still don't have anything. And just trust your inner spirit, just know you already know right from wrong. But if your spirit tell you don't do this, that's wrong. Follow that. Don't doubt it. Don't question it, So I would just tell them don't bend over, don't bow, don't bend, and don't sell your soul, And if you've been just now starting, it's cool to do open mic. Some of them do it a year and end up being amazing. And when you are amazing, you can ask for some money. But if you know that you, wait a minute, I'm gonna get it right. I think it goes that way. There you go. Yeah. But I was gonna say, if you know you ain't funny, don't be asking for no money. Just keep working on your craft. Money will come. You know, I just started asking these people for what I'm worth. I was taking little crumbs and you know, because at the end of the day, the money is cool. Don't get me wrong. But when I see people laughing and stuff and you never know what someone is going through, that means more than anything. I was in Burger King yesterday. This white couple, the lady said, I'm going over here and sit my fat ass down because she was fat. And I laughed. And I told her I was a comedian or whatever. And they was getting frustrated because it wasn't but 3 workers in there, the manager, the cashier, and the cook. So they really wasn't taking a lot of orders and people were getting frustrated and stuff. So I stepped in and I started telling some comedy and calmed the situation down. When I tell you that lady started laughing and coughing and stuff, I said, oh, Lord, I done brought her COVID out. But she was talking about a lot of things she was going through, but I wouldn't have never known that if I hadn't, you know, started laughing and talking with her. But just knowing that you can bring laughter in somebody's life and not knowing what they're going through. I have 2 sons incarcerated. Every day I want them to come home, but I'm not somewhere crying and ready to commit suicide. I just trust that they in God's hand.
It's true. Comedy can do that though. Like,
yeah, comedy is I'm telling you, my doctor used to always say, if he could sell what I have in a bottle, he'll be rich. I said, you already rich, man. But and you know what else? Then I'm gonna let you get back to your questions. I had went to the Apollo a couple of years ago and in Harlem, New York. And the show was all that. But my biggest moment was not being on that big stage. My biggest moment was when it was over and we was taking pictures and stuff. And me personally, I can look at people and tell when something going on. So this young lady, the last one in the line, I went over there talking to her because she looked like she had a lot on her mind. And I just started sharing the goodness of God, all he have done for me and doing for me. And she was like, can I get a picture with you? I said, sure, why not? And I said, matter of fact, let me get one with you in case I don't see yours like that. And when I got back to my room that night, I was just going on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. And that young lady inboxed me. She said, it was my intentions to commit suicide until you shared your testimony with me. And I cried like a baby because I was like, man, that's why God waited 30 years to get me in the Apollo in Harlem, New York. But like I say, you never know what someone is going through. I don't know if she was going to do it after she got her picture with Monique or went home or when she was going to do it. But she said it was her intentions to do it. And I just thank God that I don't have a problem with running my mouth like it got diarrhea when it comes to talking about him. So it'd be amazing. And like I say, I want the money and the money gonna come. But big moments like that in my life, that's what helps me to keep going.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. I did an open mic one time and I was gonna try out some new material, but kids walked into this bar. I'm like, well, damn, I can't go off the cusp and just start saying, talk about all this crazy stuff. So some comedians did go up there and do it, but I didn't. I kept it family friendly. So after I finished the show, there was an older white lady. She came up to me. She said, I appreciate your comedy. I never laughed so hard. Other comedians did. I'm like, damn, lady, I never met this lady. And she was like, oh, thank you just for keeping it clean. It was so funny. You got Facebook. And at this time, this is very important to anybody, that I didn't have social media. I don't even really interact that much on social media, but I'm learning how to. And then there was another time I came from a show, and it was like 5 or 6 people, like they were parked beside my car, and they was back in their car. And I'm like, shit, it's a Friday night. It's just me or whatever. I don't know what to do. So here in Virginia, when somebody asks you where you from, where you stay, or my favorite, where the hoes at, you know something about to pop off. I'm like, damn, man.
Right.
I'm like, I'm 5'4", like I can't do nothing. So I said, I'm gonna lose this one. So I'm getting to the car, I'm not trying to say nothing. I ain't hit the automatic or anything. I ain't want to scare nobody. So buddy comes up to me and said, man, what you came from? I said, bro, I just did a comedy show, and I'm on my way now to do another open mic, because I love going to open mics, because I get to see how other people do and whatever the case may have.
Mm-hmm.
He comes up, he said, man, you're a comedian, right? I said, yeah. I said, man, look, follow me on YouTube. So I gave my YouTube page. And for anybody listening, I always apologize for my language. I said, man, you's a funny ass nigga, man. You's a funny motherfucker, bro. Like, goddamn, bro. I didn't know you was that goddamn funny. I'm looking, I'm like, oh, man, I appreciate me. He said, man, look, man, if you ever got another show, man, I'm like, all right. So that was good. I guess comedy kind of saved me. I don't know about, oh, boy. I was scared for my life. You understand me?
It will save you. Wow.
So before we get out of here,
comedy, I got a comedy podcast getting ready to start next month. Let me find it. 1 second. I like to get it right information.
I believe.
It's the Laugh Out Loud morning podcast with Miss Arkansas, coming in May. And shout out to Edwin Victory. He was with a singing group years ago, and we met at a show, and it's like God just put us together as brothers and sisters. And he gonna be running this for me, making sure everything is right, and sponsors and all that stuff. So it's gonna be bigger than my show that God allowed me to do when the pandemic first started. I had I won't say had, I still interview people on there. Zooming through the pandemic with comedian Miss Arkansas. I told them it don't mean we're going through it fast. It only means we're going through it together. So God allowed me to interview so many people over the time this all been going on. And first I was like, I got this little podcast, and God said, the spirit. I still say God, but God said, take little out of your mouth. And when I removed little, he started allowing me to interview some amazing people. All people are amazing. I'll just say some people on some higher levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that podcast is coming in May, if God say the same.
Well, this
podcast.
And
then I also, another thing coming in May.
Okay.
I was on pay-per-view with Mr. Amos John Amos.
John Amos?
John Amos. Everybody know him as James on Good Time. It's a Good Times tribute with him and so many more amazing people. And like I say, that was on pay-per-view. And when I tell you God is showing up, showing out, now it's getting ready to be on Roku, Holyfield TV. They say about 100 more stations. So, and that's starting May the 1st. So, like I say, man, when he show up, he show out. We just got to learn how to trust him.
We do got to learn how to trust him. And I ain't talking about
John Amos. I'm talking about God, y'all.
Thank you. No, you do got to trust him, because he has the control. He knows when your path is right. He lays out your path, so he can't even force it. Now, I always ask comedians this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your top 5 comedians in any order Dead or alive. With a starting 6-man. Who would those 5 be? 6 be?
Michael Collier. I'm sorry, I can't name all them that's done already made it because the little piece of hair getting on my nerve. Tamiko Kirkland, she's out of California. Regina After 5, out of California. Comedian Fluff Puff Jackson, California. Chocolate Storm, California. Shannon the Queen, Las Vegas. How many more I got?
That's it.
Oh man, that's it. I got about 100 more.
You got 100 more?
I got at least sneak 2 more in. Monte Cruz, Las Vegas. Skill Hustle, Las Vegas. Kevin, the Marine of Comedy, California. Matt Grown, California. And made my boy E. Griff from St. Louis, Missouri. Rest in peace. One of the best comedians I ever known and one of my best friends. So he just went home to be with the Lord. May he rest in peace. And I pray he up there telling some jokes to the angels. So, but I had to get some more in there. You know what I'm saying? And if I didn't call y'all name, please don't trip out. The man told me 6. He didn't say 60.
Like my list changes, but always number 1 on my list is going to be Michael Collier. The number 1 hands down.
I have to shout him out because I could call him anytime. I don't care if I got a problem or just need to talk or whatever. If I call that man right now, if he ain't on set or doing a movie or whatever, if he available, he will answer that phone.
Okay.
You know, and it's good to be able to call somebody like that and they'll just answer anytime you call them. So once again, I thank God for him.
Yeah, he's my number 1. I had Jerry Seinfeld, DC Benny. If it's new, he's not really new, but he's been around. It's going to be Carlos Miller. That's 4. Melanie Camacho.
Oh my God. You didn't let me name no more. Yes. She on my list too. Melanie Camacho. I love her. I'm in a movie with her. That should be coming out soon too.
I'm trying to get her on the podcast. I sent her a DM on Instagram and she gave me her email address. So hopefully I can get her up here as well too, because I'm really, this podcast is like about giving people their flowers and also, you know, dropping jewels. So I'm giving you your flowers. You know, I respect your hustle. I
appreciate that.
And what you was telling me on the phone, how you're independent and everything and 30 years into the game. And it's also about jewels. So anybody that's listening is going to also get jewels as well too. So you actually dropped a couple of jewels as well too. So, you know, and I'm not trying, I don't care who's listening because this is my show. I'm trying to push more black content creators because we actually need those. So whether it's a comedian, a chef, cartoonist, animator, whatever, musician, we need more of those. We need to show more black content in general. And that's the reason why I actually started No ID. Black and brown content, we actually need more of it.
Right. So, I also be starting my own comedy night out here in Las Vegas. It's supposed to start at April the 13th, but the man said it was pushed back because some got to do with the city or something. Now, I don't know. It ain't my part. But anyway, it will still go down. I just don't know exactly what day. And then I've been going over to the Extreme Comedy Club. It's Black owned by comedian Billy Bob. And I got word that they want me to start a night in there. So if all go well, I have 2 comedy rooms coming soon out here in Las Vegas. So if you're in the Vegas area visiting or living and you do comedy, get at me. I love to book you. So at least I can go and have it laid out. So once it open, we can put it down.
Damn great. Yeah. And I'll be opening up my own Zoom open mic in May. May 1st.
Okay, I'll come on here and do a little something and bless it for you.
Yeah, man. So like once this season of this podcast is over with, that's it. My last episode is actually Michael Kaya's episode. Because I'm saving him for the best for last. I have to save him for the best for last. But
one of the best, y'all. You heard me?
let me tell you, like, I gotta get this man his flowers, man, because like,
no, I ain't hating. I love him. When I tell you that's my brother, that's my brother.
Yeah, and I'm talking this is you studying for
years. It all, and I'm gonna say this for him too. He gonna say it when he come on here. He was not homeless, y'all. He was just out on Venice Beach doing his thing. So he'll tell y'all that too. He said he don't know where that came from for real. So
you know the little rumors and the internet circle around, and
it don't take the one lie.
You know, I Wikipedia him because I wanted to get more in depth of him because I didn't know he wrote children's books and stuff.
I had one of them too. He gave 2 books was in that package that I won. I know you doing the interview, but I have a question for you.
What's up?
When you do your comedy, do you ever get nervous?
No.
I appreciate that because a lot of big comedians would tell comedians that's up and coming or whatever, if you don't get nervous, you ain't no comedian or they'll tell you something stupid. But me personally, I'm not like that. I don't feel you have to be nervous because I go in there and before I take the mic, I say me a prayer and I ask God to allow those people to receive me and allow me to receive those people. Because sometimes it ain't you, it's them. And sometimes it ain't them, it's you. So that's my prayer. And they always ask me, said, Miss Arkansas, do you ever get nervous? I said, yeah, when I think they ain't got my damn money. But for us, the mic, no.
I don't get nervous. Before any mic, I actually bought a voice recorder with a lapel mic, and I record myself and play it back, and I do it all the time. Thing. And if anybody knows me or sees me, if you see me with a book bag on, that's 9 times out of 10 that has that voice recorder and it has a pen pad and a pen in there, maybe a joke that popped in my head. But no, I don't get nervous. The only time I think I would say I got nervous was I actually came out of comedy school at the Virginia Beach Funny Bone. And that was I was graduating. And the teacher was like, man, you're so funny. He gave me 7 minutes. So I was nervous then, but I mean, my deodorant started activating and everything. Like, I was like, damn, my degree ain't working. But no, I ain't been nervous. I ain't been nervous.
Apollo is a big event, well-known big event. I didn't get nervous there. And I knew I wasn't going to get nervous there when I did a show with over 10,000 people in Dallas, Texas with comedian Ricky Smiley. And when I tell you those people gave me a standing ovation and all that didn't stand was either drunk or disabled. Other than that, everyone stood up, especially Gary. Gary got up like this. He was fanning and everything. Oh my God. So I'm telling you, over these 30 years, God done allowed me to do some amazing things. And if he don't do nothing else for me, he have done more than enough by allowing me to live to see all 4 of my children get grown and gone and 11 beautiful grandbabies. So that's more than enough for me.
You're a grandmama?
Yes, I have 11 beautiful grandbabies.
Oh, man, you kind of threw me off.
And you know what I tell them though, brother? If I hadn't to swallow my other 6 children, I have more than 11 grandbabies.
Oh man, I didn't know you was a
grandma. Swallow for real, y'all. Remember, I am a comedian.
Cheers. I was like, damn, because I was looking at your man like, you said 30 years. Like, I ain't know.
Actually, I am 52, and God say the same February, I will be 53. So.
Oh yeah, I was like,
you just gotta live right and treat people right, and try not to stress over everything. Like I said, I got 2 sons incarcerated. If I let that worry me, I look 90. but I don't. I just put them in God's hand. My mother was a praying mother, and I am a praying mother.
I got you. Yeah, you got a good spirit, though. I wish you nothing but the best and everything.
I'm like, Mary, it's the Jesus in me.
Oh, shit. Hey, guys. This summer I will be filming my own independent comedy special, funded out my own pocket. So be on the lookout for that. This will be all new material. Be 30 minutes. So I already got a venue picked out. Now I just got to take the time.
I got to find a venue. I got people willing to film it for me and all of that, but I'm ready to do mine. So I don't know if it's going to be 30 minutes or an hour. I got about 2 days worth of stuff in me, but it's time for that. And then one of my son's good friends, he videoed for stars and stuff, and he want to do my documentary. He want to come out here to Las Vegas, but I told him I would rather do a lot of taping at home.
Back to Arkansas?
Yes, and I got to go do a friend of mine's birthday party next month. So I'm thinking about reaching out to him and see if he's available and we can get some taping in while I'm home for those few days.
So for y'all that didn't listen to that, she named all these shows, these mics that she's trying to get. That's nothing but hustle and ambition. So
yeah, man. Over these 30 years, I've been praying, grinding, crying, almost fighting. It ain't easy, but it can be done.
Yeah. See, y'all heard that shit.
And I might as well share this with you too, because I already know once God give me that big check, TMZ and all the rest of them haters gonna try to tell it. So saying it on your podcast and other podcasts, people be like, oh, she already told us about that. So it ain't like they could tell my story. I tell it, But I also ended up doing some time in prison.
Okay.
And when I got out of prison, instead of becoming one of the worst criminals there is, I became one of the best comedians there is. And a life was taken. And I asked God to forgive me. And I thought I had forgave me, but it was like eating me up like a cancer. And then I reached out to the young lady, 2 daughters, because they was little bitty kids when it happened. And I asked them and her mother and brother to forgive me. And they said they did, but for some reason I felt them kids didn't know what forgiveness meant. And then now that they are grown, I reached out to them and asked them to forgive me. And I spoke to one of them. She was like, I forgive you, Miss Rudd. She said, can you call my sister? And I called her sister and talked to her and asked her to forgive me. And she said, Miss Rudd, I forgave you a long time ago. She said, free yourself. And when that baby told me that, I was like, no devil in hell can stop me now, So, and like Monique, shout out to the Academy Award winner Monique, even though our mission ended on a bad note, I still thank God for what he allowed her to do for me. I met her at not the Apollo, Lord Jesus, the Improv in Ontario, California, where I had my own comedy night. I still have it. They gonna call me once all this stuff is over or whatever, but I met her. I had left an outfit one night because I changed clothes, wigs, and everything when I host. And I was like, oh, I'll go back Friday and get my outfit and get me a picture with Monique. That's all I wanted. But God's plan is bigger than my plan. And the general manager said, I'm sorry, Miss Arkansas, we can't let you in. It's sold out. I said, I can respect that. A young lady stopped me. She said, excuse me, are you getting ready to buy a ticket? I said, no, they said they sold out. She said, well, my sister couldn't make it here. God bless you. That young lady gave me a $65 ticket. I knew it wasn't nobody but God, because anybody else would have tried to sell that ticket. Mm-hmm. And I went in there. She had a 7 o'clock and a 9 o'clock show. That was the 7 o'clock. And I enjoyed the show. When the show was over, I walked up to her and all I said was, hi, Monique. I'm comedian Miss Arkansas. She said, baby, would you like to do some time on my next show? Her 9 o'clock show, I did 5 minutes. And she said she had to come out the green room to see what the hell they were laughing at. And then when it was over, I was like, let's get a picture, Monique, till the next time I see you. She said, baby, come back tomorrow night and close out my show with me. And when I did that, once again, all I wanted was a picture. She said, come in the green room. She said, you are amazing. People need to know you. They need to see you. She said, I have a few tour dates coming up and I'm going to take you on the road with me. That lady took me to Chicago, 4 sold out shows. She took me at the Improv. When she had her residency out here in Las Vegas at the SLS Hotel and Casino, I did her first 13 shows. And when I tell you I've been trying to get in that Apollo in Harlem, New York over 30 years, man, God used her right before the pandemic to take me to the Apollo in Harlem, New York. And when I tell you them people treated me like I was Whitney Houston or somebody, oh, baby, even if it was amateur night, I wouldn't have got booed. But it felt so good for them to stand up and give me all that love, you know? Because they said if you could do the Apollo in Harlem, New York, you could do comedy anywhere.
I heard Apollo was the roughest crowd.
Anyway. Now when Miss Arkansas went.
Turn up.
Plus, I was looking like I had $1 million. That make a difference too. Let me say that to the ones that's watching and listening. If you're a comedian, entertainer, or whatever, you have to dress accordingly. If you come looking like you just left a football game or karaoke or something, that's how them people gonna treat you. But if you come in there, I ain't saying you got to be suited and booted. Have on a nice shirt, some nice jeans or something, and some decent shoes. That don't come in there with your football tennis shoes, baseball tennis shoes, or whatever. Come looking correct. Then they gonna focus on you. That I love when I do comedy because those people, they listen, they laugh, they listen. I could go to some shows and people just talk. And I was like, oh, Jesus, they might as well put the mic back in the mic stand because these people just talking. But once I get up there, they amazed about what I have on and how I'm looking anyway, because what make me know that to be a fact, when the show is over, almost every female in there come to me and say how they love this and they love that and oh my God, you're so beautiful and this and that and that. So it makes a difference when you get on that stage. Your appearance is everything.
That's facts. That's big facts.
You don't have $1 million, fake it till you make it.
Exactly. I think I've seen some people come out there, man, but like they just rolled out of the bed.
Get off the couch.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. Treat it like this is your job.
Right. So I tell them, dress up. If your shirt wrinkled, take 5 minutes out to iron it. Come correct so you can be presentable and accepted. And people won't mind coming back out to see you. Because they looking forward to it now. Oh my God, what he or she gonna have on this time? Or what he or she gonna say this time? That's how you want the people to be.
Yeah. I agree. Well,
yep. So like I was shout out to Shannon Battles, comedian Shannon Battle. Mm-hmm. He gave me a guest spot last night at the Extreme Comedy Club. And I go there all the time too. And matter of fact, I will be back there on tomorrow night doing comedy at the Extreme Comedy Club. That's over on Sunset here in Las Vegas. And once again, a little birdie told me they want me to do a comedy night in there. So maybe I go show out again tomorrow night. Then I can lock that in.
Definitely. So I'm going to go ahead and end it. I appreciate you coming up here. Now, if anybody wants to get in contact with Miss Arkansas, how do they reach out to you?
Well, my name is Arkansas. I represent the South. I got me a goal in my mouth. In case you don't know, take a closer look. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and Snapchat, and TikTok, and Clubhouse, and oh God, everything. So you can Google me, Bing me, book me, and pay me in that order.
Sounds great. Make sure you guys follow me at RomeFunny_89 on Instagram and Twitter. Follow the podcast at No ID Podcast. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm available. This podcast is available on everything. Streaming wise, YouTube, Apple, Google, Spotify, just to name it. The links in the bio. My contact information in there as well too. But make sure you guys.
Before we go, I would love to say I'll reach out to you and I'd love to interview you one day on Zooming Through the Pandemic with comedian Miss Arkansas. And like I said, and I'll say it again, it do not mean we're going through it fast. It only means we're going through it together. And I also love to have you on my comedy podcast starting in May. It's in the morning time. So you got to be able to get up.
Oh, that's perfect. Well, as long as it's on the day that I'm off, I don't know. I still gotta. Yeah, I still.
But we locking all the information in, so I'll let you know in plenty of time. I won't just call you tonight and say get up in the morning. It won't be that kind of deal.
Most definitely.
So I figure I'm looking cute. I would go and help my good friend Keisha Core from Delaware. Man, I'm gonna help her get off the computer.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
There you go. I'm gonna figure it out.
I was like,
help her celebrate her birthday. She out here in Las Vegas, so I'm helping her celebrate her birthday. And I'm just gonna stay masked up and stay safe. And that's what I tell everyone that's watching: stay prayed up and covered up, and trust God when you can't trust yourself.
I'm about to say, you is looking good though. I'm about to slide in your DMs.
It ain't bad for 52. You heard me?
Hey, look, hey, if you go younger, I'm 32. I'm about to slide in your DMs this morning. I'm about to say,
the son turned 37, so you got to at least be 60.
I gotta be 60. Yeah, I'm about to slide in them joints.
I'm so old. I like 1 foot on the concrete, the other in the grave.
I got 2 on the concrete. I can't compete with them.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right.
May God continue to bless your podcast and you.
And same for you. And I look forward to seeing all your works. And we got each other locked in. So just let me know. And I'm definitely to support.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace.